So many plays on the football.
Christian Anderson comes out for Army last week. Tyler Tyler got the start, left the game after the second drive with an injury and will not play today. Anderson goes right back up the middle for a gain of 1. This is what happened last in the win against Georgia State as well. Jacoby Buchanan, the B-back behind Anderson on 2nd and 8. The handoff to the fullback, burst through the middle. He never loses yards. This time he picks up 6, and it'll set up 3rd and 1 coming up for Army, Eastern Pennsylvania.
And by the way, this is 4-down territory. They probably won't need it, but I can tell you that right now.
It's Cade Barnard behind Anderson, who's back to pass early in the ballgame. He's got an open receiver and a 1st down. Brandon Walters jitters his way down to the 21.
Buddy, loved the play action pass on 3rd and short. They knew they'd get it on 4th if they had to.
I think traditional, back up the middle. Barnard takes it inside the air. D'Angelo Malone, though, is a star that they have, as Army does go fast. And again, it is back on the ground with Barnard inching closer to
3 linemen to the right of the center.
Also have Cole Catterbone over there as a receiver. Instead, it is Buchanan barreling his way through the line.
He's without a negative yardage run for Buchanan.
All of last season, all of last week. Anderson, the handoff, it's on the ground. Atkins right through the middle, and the turnover. South of here, a team in Army that really represents that mission to serve week in, week out, but even more so on a day like today, as Anderson keeps it himself and gets about 5 yards. We go downstairs to Tina Sermasio.
Yonkers fired so many of my comrades, never came home. He said it's just an honor to be here.
So many of those stories that we have heard throughout the year, as Jamel Jones came in at quarterback for that play and that handoff to Buchanan. Anderson's
with the ball in his hand. I think Anderson might be the best passer of the group.
He's already completed 1. This is 3rd and 1. Handoff up the middle, the push is there, and they pick up a couple of yards. Talking with Jeff Monken this week,
come off low and hard and knock them back, but then try to keep your feet if you can and stay on the block. That's how you get the big plays.
Anderson keeps it himself, squeaks through, and he is close. So it is officially 2nd and about a yard here for Christian Anderson.
Would be another good time to take a shot if you want to.
Instead, it's the pitch to get it to the outside. It is Walters on the carry, and he does pick up enough for the 1st down.
That was actually just going underneath his own body.
Eckert last week in the win against Georgia State had his 1st career reception. It went for 26 yards. One of the 3 completions that Army had last week. There's Walters in motion, and Anderson decides to keep it. Puts his head down right into Halassi, who made the tackle. I mean, 6th-year Western Kentucky player Juwan Jones.
I watched him last week. It's crazy.
Inside to Tyrell Robinson. Jaden Hunter all over the field for the defense.
And they almost always get it.
And they go to Buchanan, too, because he never loses yards.
Anderson just made a check.
They do hand it off to Buchanan. He is pushed back close to the line. Great defense.
They do have to get a playoff here at the end of the quarter. They cannot take it till the quarter.
About a 3-second differential between the play clock. They give it to Buchanan again. He pushes forward, and he does have an Army 1st down. What a...
And some of them not even born when 9/11 happened, to know that they are willing to serve our country just does me really, really proud.
And we're just going to move along here and send it back to Jason for a touchdown.
For a touchdown as well. It looked like...
Coordinator. Beautiful design to have Jimmy Charlo go to the outside and Fabrice Voin come back inside.
And they come right back with a pass. That is Cole later, the wide receiver for Army, but it is 2nd and 3 with a 7-0 lead and 12:45 to go in the 2nd quarter. Anderson's going to keep it himself. He puts his head down, and he's got another Army 1st down.
From Buchanan. But when Army feels like they've got the defense on their heels, maybe they're a little tired after the 3 and out, they like to attack.
Back on the ground, Robinson. And remember, 2 years ago, Army played Western Kentucky.
Like the Hilltoppers did 2 years ago.
It is Howard in motion. Anderson fakes it, looking downfield. He's got 2 to choose from. wide open. Brahim Murphy for the second straight week on a receiving
Linebacker's job to get the deep middle and essentially make it a 3 deep zone.
With that pass, Western Kentucky has surpassed the offensive output that Georgia State had last week. Buchanan for a couple.
I mean, Bednarik, Nagurski, Senior Bowl. If there's a list for an elite defensive player in college football, Malone's on it.
You wonder if that touchdown pass now settles in this defense who was on its heels. Anderson with the pitch. That is Walters out in space. Has a first down, and Walters takes it out to the 40-yard line.
That is beautiful option football.
Ross Anthony Atkins is back as the B-back behind Anderson. Remember, he had the fumble in the red zone, gets it again. And this time he takes it out 5 yards. Malone there again.
And ran 22 miles an hour last week against Georgia State, according to the GPS trackers.
Inside to Robinson, who switches speeds. He is so shifty. Inside the 45-yard line.
Look at him stiff-arming as he's falling down.
He's on the sideline for this play in the inside to Buchanan. Couple more yards. Well, the NFL is a fifth.
I mean, Bills, Steelers at 1. Browns, Chiefs is the game of the day. CBS is where it's at.
Mahomes coming back from the injury. Anderson pitches it to the outside again. And a wonderful tackle. Antoine Kincaid making his...
If they get within 4th and 3, I'd say they'd strongly consider it.
Anderson back to pass. He stays perfect. Nope. Donaldson dropped it. He hit Rican Donaldson right between.
It's always interesting when they go under center here, Jason, because you know they're not going to run it on 4th and 7.
Now he is back to pass. He does have an open receiver. Catterbone does have the first down. He ducked his way between a pair of defenders. Brathwaite made this.
3rd downs a game throwing the ball, they are going to be tough to beat. I mean, anybody.
He is 4 of 5 passing for 72 yards and a touchdown. Well, and you've covered Army football now. This is your 4th year here.
And they're clicking in the passing game. They've had a lot of struggles with that over the last couple years.
This is the 10th play of this drive. Following the touchdown pass for Bailey Zappi, it's the dive up the middle, and they pick up 3 more. So 3rd and about last week after 2 knee injuries over the last 2 seasons.
This is usually Buchanan time.
It is Buchanan time, right up the middle. Darius Shipp jumped on his back, but not before he picked up 3 in a first. Scoring drives to open before leaving the game with an injury. Not going to play today. This time it was Robinson back with Anderson out of the shotgun. And he picks up 4 more inside the Western Kentucky.
A lot of time when they get the ball back, I would think they would wait until under 10 seconds, maybe even under 5 to snap as they do a late unbalanced here.
That time they did snap it with 12. It is Atkins lowers the shoulder into 4 Hilltop. And does have all 3 of his timeouts, knowing that he might want the ball.
Here they go. Now they're really milking it.
And remember,
well done.
Army gets the ball to start the second half as well. And handoff to Atkins again. He picks his way through the middle. Again, it is Darius Shipp. Team plays 65 yards on this drive for Army. That is the Picasso for Jeff Monken of drives. Anderson, the handoff. Howard trying to sneak past the goal line. And they mark him short.
That's even better. A touchdown. But you're right, you do get that feeling of inevitability, especially when 33 is going to get it.
On an 8.5-minute drive, it is Buchanan over the top, and it's an Army touchdown. Fire the kick. Pair of timeouts here.
Well, you know, normally I think they would just take a knee, but with the way Anderson's been throwing the football, maybe they take a shot.
They don't, they hand it off. The teams have timeouts. Neither one's going to
come out hot and sustain drives here and eliminate penalties if they want to win.
Tina, thank you. The give up the middle to Buchanan for a yard. Is it sustainable to continue to have 2 minutes?
Now Western Kentucky has a shot on this series of downs.
That is Barnard now as the B-back behind Anderson. The pitch goes outside. Brandon Walters had a good first half. Brathwaite, good tackler for Western Kentucky.
10% of the same stuff they did in that game down in Bowling Green 2 years ago.
Army was 5 of 7 on 3rd down in the opening half. It is Barnard through the middle, and he reaches the 35. That's all he needed. He's got the...
to get them back on schedule.
One of you just joining us, Christian Anderson. Got to start. Tyler out today after starting last week. Anderson has played very well. picks up 8 yards on first down. Halasi
As that blocking fullback that they want to use a lot, the B-back they call him here.
Tyler, last year's leading rusher, who got the first 2 drives last week. Watching from the sideline. This time they get it to the outside. It is Robinson in space. Not as big as I think they'd like, but enough for a first down.
Moments before. Let's hope it's not serious for Bishop.
So it is Knapp that moves to center. Zach Ward to his left now as the left guard. Anderson out of the gun, keeps it himself on a first down play across the 50. 4-yard pickup. Kincaid yet another.
They're both seniors. That's exactly why they play them, in case there's an opportunity like this.
Anderson kept it into space. Christian Anderson, the right decision. Kincaid wrestled him to the turf. But another first down.
Hand there by Anderson.
Anderson up to 54 yards rushing. Again, this is the opening drive of the third quarter, and they're nearly 5 minutes off the clock again. Time it is Buchanan. And again, nothing in terms of negative plays. A 2-yard stop quarter, with the exception of the one that they finished out the quarter the last 25 seconds. They're picking up where they left off. Tough snap. Anderson caught it. Robinson again got a block from Walters. Robinson inside the 10. Knocked down at the 3.
Start to get a little bit nervous if they lost one more.
Well, they're missing tackles to begin with from injuries from camp. It is Atkins behind Anderson from the 3. He gets the handoff, leads forward. Touchdown, Army. Capping off a 10-play. Not a lot of penalties today, only one on Army. Anderson pitches to the outside. Raheem Murphy, who had a touchdown catch in the first half, runs for 4.
Is really as gifted of an offensive lineman as they've had. He's still only a sophomore, long, athletic.
From Nashville here on second and short. Christian Anderson spins side of the tackle. Jawan Jones made the stop.
Eligibility after COVID. You don't often see guys with 4 varsity letters playing college football.
Buchanan bursts through the middle, and he picks up 9 more yards. Well, to your point about that, remember, every single player.
College football.
And we talked to both schools about that this year. Remember, Western Kentucky on top of that's got 28 transfers, and obviously a different story here at West Point. Not part of how this program has worked.
Good play to take a shot if Brent Davis wants to dial up a play-action pass.
He doesn't. It's inside. And it is there, another first down. Jawan Jones just fighting with Buchanan.
He should still already start to snap it with less than 5 seconds left.
Buchanan, 14 carries for 40 yards and the touchdown. On the sideline now, it's Barnard. Anderson takes the hit from D'Angelo Malone, as well as Jeremy Darvin. With COVID-19 in 2020, you talked about it. The cadets were spread out to have social distancing in Mikey Stadium last year. That is a different story this year. As Robinson gets the edge, has another first down.
After the game, is if I got a penalty or there was like a screen pass or I pulled.
Well, she sent you a nice text today. Brought down, hard hit on Anderson. Caleb Oliver, fully well aware of 2001, September 11, 2001. But, you know, talking to Jeff Munkin this week, for the cadets here, they chose to serve in a post-9/11 world and made that decision knowing what they were going into and how different. So more than 30 minutes chewed up by this Army offense in this ballgame. 28-14 the lead. They're in the opening minute on a 3rd and 2 for Christian Anderson. And like they have done so many times today, just hand it off to Jacoby Buchanan.
A lot of times they'll widen their splits out even a little bit more to give themselves a little more space for that fullback to hit it up in there.
Pitch out to A.J. Howard, and he's tracked down. Trey Shaw raced out there to make the...
When they score quickly.
This time it's Anderson back to pass. The pressure from behind. He lost the football. Jawan Jones came off the edge.
To get a touchdown. Now it's 3rd and long.
They are in field goal range, which would make it a 3-score game. Anderson comes back on himself, has some space inside the 15, and he picks up the first down. So on a
that's a gigantic, perhaps game-clinching play by the Black Knights.
15 carries, 86 yards for Anderson. Keeps it one more time, cuts it up inside, takes a couple of hits. Michael Pitts holding around. He's a senior from the Bronx, had one start in 2019. Last year, with all the injuries that happened at the position, played in 7 games. But this has been his game, and he hands it off to Buchanan. His second touchdown of the ball game. Right through the middle. Now there is a flag that flew from behind. Hurt early in the ball game. The cart did come out for the starting center. With a 10-yard penalty, takes it back, but again the hole. Now they can fire the Buchanans. They still got it inside, and this time it's from 13 yards.
Attack it, you have to go get it. Tyson Helton did the right thing by going for the onside kick, but Broughton was all over it.
Marquell Broughton has had a whale of a ball game. So too is that man. Can we take a look at
77 in the air, 87 on the ground. That is a heck of a day for an option quarterback.
Keep it himself again. That's Jaquez Evans hanging around on his ankles.
Well, they're trying to clinch this game. It's still only a 2-score game. 3rd and a long 5. My guess is they'll run it here and try to get to 4th and short.
8 of 10 on 3rd down. They do go up the middle. They pick up most of that 5 yards to the 36.
Barnard. If they were going to run the fullback, I think Buchanan would be in. So I'm predicting a quarterback zone with Barnard as the lead blocker. And frankly, if I know that, Western Kentucky should be thinking that too.
No. Army is a perfect 5 for 5 on 4th downs. 2 for 2 today.
Ooh, maybe a hard count here?
That's exactly what you said, and Pitts knew it. He jumped through the middle of the line, and the transfer from
to be aggressive with his timeout usage again.
Which, remember, he did on the last drive with 6.5 minutes to go, wanting to preserve all of that. The handoff to Buchanan. Jeremy Darvin right there.
And that Army had worn him down, but it's like they've gotten the second wind.
Play clock was taken under 5. Anderson and Kincaid came up from the safety spot.
Sacked, I said, I don't think we'll see them throw again. They might have to now.
Well, they're a few yards beyond field goal range for Cole Talley as well, which would also make it a 2-possession game. They do go to the air. But nobody's out there for Anderson to take off. Gets it himself, gets down inbounds, and a huge pickup on 3rd. He is over 100 yards on the ground today. In his first start of the season, Anderson is wrapped up around the ankles. Will Ingnot, the Army gets another first down, they're gonna milk the clock. They're gonna knock the clock down to 0. Anderson now with a career high in rushing yards inside the 15.
9 of 12 on 3rd down today. Barnard in usually means a quarterback run.
Up it's the handoff to Barnard, and Western Kentucky does get the stop. And Tyson.
He looked like me at the Army tailgate trying to get one of those Polish sausages.
So Army, after recovering 3 onside kicks, gets 1 knee. Western Kentucky out of timeouts. And Ross, it's a lot tighter than it looked like.